Hi. So welcome to this nice swift practice. Today we're going to be focusing a lot on hip mobility to increase the flexibility of our spine. Basically a nice all-round 15-minute practice. So let's get right to it. Enjoy. So we're going to sit Japanese style, and if that's uncomfortable, you can always take a block and place it underneath your buttocks. Just keep the spine nice and intentional. And we're going to take 3 breaths into the diaphragm. So breathing in down into the stomach. And slowly exhaling out of the mouth. And again, take a breath in. Exhaling out of the mouth. One more time. Breath in. Exhaling out of the mouth. Good. We're going to slowly open the eyes and just make some circles with the right arm. So increasing the mobility range in this part of the body. And once we've done 3 or 4 in one direction, we'll go into the other direction. And then internally rotate the hand and then place that in between the shoulder blades. So really slide it up there. Good, you'll feel some engagement in the right shoulder. Lift the left arm up. Place it on the back of the head on the right side and slowly tilt that down. Bring your breath awareness to this part of the body that you're stretching. Good, one more breath. And release. Very good, just make one circular movement with that arm and we'll do the other side. So going for 1, 2, 3, and then in the other direction, 1, really isolate the movement in the shoulder joint, 2, 3, then internally rotate, so thumb down, and then placing it right in between the shoulder blades as high as you can. Use the other arm to place it on the back of the head on the left side, tilt it down a diagonal angle, and then bring your breath awareness to that part of the body that you're stretching. Just take a few brief moments here. Just adding a bit of pressure as we push down, and then gently release. And make one circular movement with the arm back and one circular movement forward. Very good. So let's come now into cat-cow. So we'll place the hands right underneath the shoulders and start to extend, so tailbone up. And then exhale, round chin towards the chest and the navel in. And again, moving with breath, inhaling. And exhaling and rounding. Good, and again, inhaling, extension, and then exhale into flexion. Good, then we'll come back into a neutral position. Make some circular movements with that right leg. So going for 1, 2, 3, and then going in the other direction, 1, 2, 3, right knee down. Let's come down onto the elbows. Repeating that cat-cow movement, so extending, so tailbone up, exhale and rounding into flexion. And again, inhaling up, exhaling and rounding. Inhaling up, exhaling and rounding, really spreading the shoulder blades. One more time, inhaling. And exhaling. Let's come back onto all fours and we'll just make those circles with our left leg. So 2, 3 in one direction and then going in the other direction. 1, 2, 3. Left knee down. Great. Let's now place the hands a little bit to the front And just lower the knees down, or lift the knees, sorry, so they're just above the mat. Very good. And just building a little bit of heat in the body here. So warming up the shoulders, engaging core. Good. And then send the hips back towards the heels. And then slowly start to transition into your downward facing dog. So again, here, just pressing into the inner parts of the hands, release the back of the neck, and just adjust where you need to. So what helps me is just bending my knees a few times and trying to create that natural curve in the lower back. And as you tilt the tailbone up, you want to lower the heels down. Good, and then we'll come forward into plank. Protracting the shoulders, tailbone pointing towards the heels, and then exhale back into a downward facing dog. Let's do that one more time, coming forward into plank, protracting the shoulders, and then exhale, coming back into a downward facing dog. Let's lift the right leg up, bend the knee, make some circles with that right knee. So we'll go from 1, 2, 3, and then another direction, 1, 2, 3. Exhale, knee to chest. Place the right foot to the front, and we'll come here into a runner's lunge. Good, kick the heel back, draw the shoulders away from the ears. Take a breath here. Just warming up all this big muscle group around the hips. Good, left foot lands next to the right foot. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, forward. And then here in your forward fold, I just want you to bend one knee at a time, but keeping the soles of the feet flat on the floor. So I usually call this flamingo pose. As you stretch to the side, you perhaps look like a flamingo. So you straighten the right leg and bend the left knee, and then you straighten the left leg and bend the right knee. Okay. Good, once we've done that, place the hands on the hips, come up with a straight back. Place the hands in the center of the chest. Take a deep inhale, reach the arms up. Exhale, bend the knees slightly, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Stepping into a plank pose. Ashtangasana, knee, chest, chin down onto the mat. Lower the hips down, lift up into a cobra. Elbows close to the body. Exhale, transition back into a downward facing dog. Adjust here again, pressing the inner part of the hands in. Steady breathing. Then we're going to lift the left leg up, and again make those circles again with the left leg. So doing 3 in one direction, and then 3 in the other direction. Exhale, knee to chest. Place that left foot gently in between your hands, coming into the runner's lunge. Draw the shoulders away from the ears, kick the right heel back. Take a breath here. The right foot lands next to the left foot. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, forward. Now we'll stay in the forward fold and just interlock the fingers behind the back. Pull the arms gently away from the back. And then again, repeating that flamingo pose. So just bending the left and the right knee as you just open the shoulders from right to left. Just getting all that stickiness out of the glutes, the hip area. Very good. Then coming back into a forward fold, release the arms down, hands on the hips, and come up with a straight back. Mountain. Good, let's come into a chair pose. So sit the hips down, arms forward, keep the chest open, steady breathing. Good, coming into standing and then pulling the right knee in And just balancing on that left leg. So pull a nice tight squeeze in towards the rib cage. Good, then we'll come into standing pigeon. So cross that right leg, hands in the center of the chest. Sit down. The elbows can touch the lower part of the legs. Take a breath there. Good, then we lift back up that right knee, so really focusing on our balance. Then place your hands in namaskar, so in prayer. Transition that right foot towards the back as we come now into a crescent lunge. So arms up, kick the right heel back. So you feel that stretch down the front of the right thigh. Exhale, let's add a twist. So opening up to the left. Hand on the back leg, reach up with the right arm. And see as if you were reaching for the ceiling here with the right hand. Release, lift the left arm up. Let's come back up with that right knee in towards the rib cage. Coming back into that standing pigeon. So bending that right leg, hands in prayer, elbows coming down. So hopefully you're feeling quite a lot of movement and stretching in your hip area. Good, and then release, right foot lands next to the left foot. Inhale, reaching up with the arms. Exhale, coming down into a forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Stepping into a plank pose. Exhale, knee, chest, chin down towards the mat. Scoot the belly down, lift up into a cobra. Elbows squeeze in tight. And then exhale, coming back down into a downward facing dog. Steady breathing. Good, now you can walk your feet towards the front. Back into that forward fold, bend the knees quite generously so the stomach is really touching the thighs and you're releasing the back of the neck. Let's repeat that shoulder stretch. So interlock the fingers behind the back, pull the arms gently away, and then bend the left and the right knee. Good, release the arms down. Hands on the hips, come up with a straight spine. Coming back into that standing pose. Feet hip distance apart. Sit down into Utkatasana, so chair pose. Body weight in the heels, arms beside the ears, chest open. And then coming into a standing balancing pose as we just pull that left thigh in towards the rib cage. And then sitting down into a standing pigeon, so crossing that leg, place the hands in prayer, come down, see if the elbows can even cup down to the lower part of the left leg. Good, then we slightly come back up again, pull the left knee in. Place the hands back in namaskar, so in prayer in the center of the chest, transition that left foot towards the back. And then reaching up into crescent lunge. Now keep kicking that left heel back and have the tailbone pointing down so your pelvis is in a neutral position. And then we twist towards the right side. Hand on the back leg, reach up with the left arm. Keep kicking with that left heel towards the back of the room. Steady breathing. We release that twist, the right arm comes back up, and then we transition back into that balance, pulling that left knee in. And then we'll come into that last set of standing pigeons. So hands in the center of the chest, coming to sit down. Very good. And then we release, left foot lands next to the right foot. Inhale, reaching up with the arms. Exhale, coming back down into a forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Stepping into a plank pose, and you could do a vinyasa or do the knee, chest, chin, so totally your choice. Into a cobra or an upward facing. Exhale into Ardha Mukha Svanasana, downward facing dog. Steady breath, steady mind, steady practice. We're going to lift that right leg up, bend the knee, and just opening up that right thigh towards the right side of the room. Exhale, knee to chest, place the right foot to the front, lower down the left knee. You could place a block on the inside of the right leg, or you could just place the hands on the floor. If you want a deeper stretch, you could lift that left knee up or keep the left knee down on the floor. You could even come onto the knife edge of that right foot. And then for the last part, you could even place the right hand behind. So choose the option for you and then grab that left foot. We're going to stay here for a few counts. Gently release that. We transition straight into a pigeon pose. So the right knee to the right wrist. What's important is the left leg is internally rotating, so you're not falling to the side. Open the chest, and then slowly come down onto the elbows, and just take a few moments there. Always observe where the breath takes you, moment by moment. Feel as if the exhalation was just really getting rid of any remaining or unnecessary tension in the body. And we'll slowly come back up. Right foot sets back into a downward facing dog. We lift the left leg up, bending the knee, opening that thigh towards the left side of the room. Exhale, knee to chest. Place that left foot to the front, lower down the right knee. So you've got a few options. Option A, hands on the floor. Option B, hands on the block or elbows on the block, lifting up the right knee. Option C, hand on the floor, left arm behind, and grab the back foot. Just staying here for a few breaths. Man, these shorter classes are challenging for me. I know I've got to keep with my time. So we lower and just walk that foot towards the right wrist, lower down the left knee, and remember to keep that pelvis neutral. So you don't want to be, walk kind of falling to one side. So just adjust where you need to. You can always place a blanket or a block underneath the left buttocks. Good, lifting up. And then exhale, coming down. Just take a few breaths here. Just notice perhaps any difference you've created in this short, sweet practice, in your hips. Just exhaling any remaining tension out of this area. Good, then we'll come out of that. Just fall this time onto the left buttocks. And then have that right leg join and just cross the legs in Sukhasana. You could alternatively just go into your Shavasana and just stay as long as you want. Otherwise, just join me by ending the practice in a seated position and have the chest proud and tall and the shoulders drawing slightly down and back. And just let the breath settle down for a few moments. And I usually try to bring my awareness just to those parts of the body that we focused on today. And just perhaps feeling a little bit more freedom there. Placing the hands in the center of the chest. Thank you for joining my class today. Have a great day. Namaste.